Superman Returns, 2006, directed by Bryan Singer. As far as the plot goes, it's been 5 years since the last Superman movies, much longer in movie fan years. In real time, it's been 19 years since the quest for peace, and a lot of things have happened. We already went through the Batman franchise. In the 90s, Christopher Reeve broke his back, which left him paralyzed. He was on a ventilator for the rest of his life. In 2004, he died due to some bad reaction to a medication. Then a couple years later, they made this movie. It's more of like a love letter to Christopher Reeve, and it's a homage sequel to the Superman film series in the 70s and 80s. So this movie takes place 5 years after the quest for peace. Astronomers found remains of Krypton, and Superman leaves to investigate. And while he's gone, everything has gone somewhat smooth. The world has moved on without a Superman. However, when he comes back, things go awry. You have planes crashing, boats sinking, you have buildings falling apart, sewers exploding. So now the world does need a Superman. And while he's saving Metropolis from its problems, Kevin Spacey plays Lex Luthor. He has found a kryptonite crystal, and he wants to use that crystal to build a kryptonite island that will topple the United States, so the rest of the world will come to him and beg for some high-tech beachfront property. So Lex Luthor's still doing his real estate fraud scheme. And it's up to Superman to fix Metropolis and stop Lex Luthor before his vision comes to fruition. That is basically the plot of the film. First, my thoughts on the movie. I like Brandon Routh as Superman. He looks a lot like Christopher Reeve. The special effects are pretty good. There's a scene where Superman saves a plane from crashing, and that scene is one of the best scenes I have seen since this movie came out 16 years ago. And I was in the theater to see this movie. This was the first superhero movie I ever saw in theaters. So I have a lot of mutual respect towards this film. But the special effects are great. The music is great. The acting is great. The emotional drama is there. So there are a lot of good elements to this film. The only thing that I didn't really like is that the movie had a lack of action. Superman, he never really punched any bad guys around like he did in the other movies. At the end of the movie, he got pummeled by a bunch of bandits, and Lex got the best of him. So the lack of action, even 16 years ago when I saw this movie, I was like, why isn't he fighting people? That's a little bit weird. Basically, this movie, it's just a compilation of rescue scenes. They're good rescue scenes. But when you see the same thing over and over for the next 10 to 15 minutes, it just feels like more of the same. It didn't really feel like the movie was really progressing towards anywhere. It's just the same stuff they show in different ways. Superman saving people. Stuff was fine. But we need some action. We need some fight scenes. If Superman would have punched Lex Luthor in the face once, I would give the film a 10 out of 10. But overall, I thought the movie was pretty good. I would give this film an 8 out of 10. I don't think it's bad as everyone says it is. I think it's the movie that Superman needed to get back on the big screen. But it just wasn't enough to pack a punch, like Batman Begins. And that spawned The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises. This movie, not so much. It got positive reviews, but the box office return wasn't quite as expected. The studio was planning to make another movie in 2009, but plans for that movie got scrapped. They rebooted the series with Man of Steel. Now, we did see Brandon Routh return as Superman in the CW Flash Arrow series, the Arrowverse, and they were doing their special called Crisis on Infinite Earths. He returned as his character Superman on there, so that brought some kind of closure to his Superman career. We see Brandon Routh don the red and blue yellow suit again. I don't know. Superman Returns. I think it's underrated, but I think it's good. 8 out of 10. There's a lot of good stuff, but I think it's underrated as well. That's my thoughts on Superman Returns.